always make sure that happens. Perfect. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's my great pleasure and privilege to be here with, as you would have seen, my partners Gary Knapp and Diana Hunter. We love bringing this call to Australasia and the globe every week. And again, we're talking about milestones today, 25 years celebration for Manatech Inc. And it's probably about 15 years for us on this call. So we're very delighted and passionate about this great company and this great technology and this great mission. And I'm very pleased to have Karen Dennis, Bronze Presidential, here today. She's had a bit of a hiatus and looking after herself for a while, and I'm pinning her down to a few calls this year. So thank you, Karen. And we've had, as everybody knows, Manatech's been doing a great job with our new compensation plan, and there's a little bit more information about that. And we're doing a tour to make sure around Australia, capital cities, well, not all of them, but to make sure people feel confident in presenting and sharing how people can make extra money from home. So this call, you need to know today, will not be exactly the same as the training. So they're still going to be important for you to attend them, as they have an experiential component so that you'll leave there feeling armed and practiced in the best way possible to be able to empower others. Basically, that's what we're all about, to help people achieve their goals. So a little bit about Karen. I know we have lots of new partners in Manatech Australasia. So if you haven't had the opportunity to meet Karen, Karen has a past history of nursing and has studied nutrition and supplementation for many years. She's the mother of 4 children and grandmother to 6, lucky girl. She began her Manatech business in 2002 and reached the 6-figure income level in just over 2 years, earning many awards in the process. She was Associate of the Year in Australasia in 2008 and 2013, and she was the top International Business Builders of the Year in 2007 and 13. So she's been in the top 5 Associates of the Year in 2008, 10, 12, 13, 14, 16, and 18. Wow. Karen was the recipient of the Giving Spirit Award in Australasia in 2012, and she's also a member of the $1 Million Club, which is a group comprising associates who have earned over $1 million in their Manatech business. These awards represent the thousands of people that Karen has helped over the years regain their health, and for many also choose to join her, they build their wealth as well. So Karen has a warm and inviting and knowledgeable style. She's an exceptional trainer, and you're going to be leaving this morning and from the training in Brisbane, we're lucky to have her up here, feeling really empowered in sharing our story. So Karen, welcome to our call.
Thank you very much, Sharon. It's lovely to be here. Really lovely to be here. I thought I might start off with an ad. Should we have an ad? I'm here with my MPAC Plus this morning. I just absolutely love this product. I just can't seem to go a day without it now. The B vitamins just make me feel great, and it just gives me lots of energy and feel good. So if you haven't tried this, and they've got a special deal on, Manatech aren't paying me to do this ad, by the way. They've got a special deal on if you buy 2 boxes of these this month and next month, you get one of these lovely drink bottles that we were able to get at the convention. So I really recommend MPAC Plus to give you the zip and the zap and the energy on top of all that you get from the products.
Oh, fantastic, Karen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to hear, new products. It's so fantastic to hear people enjoying the experiences, and, it's kind of unique for many of us.
Yes, indeed.
So with the topic about earning extra income, I know there'll be new people, even people that haven't chosen to partner with us, but wanting to understand more.
Mm-hmm.
And also all the way through to seasoned veterans with our company today. But it's always good to hear about your story, in particular, how the earning income with Manatech has impacted your personal life. We'll get into the details of that. But, I know that it when you started in Manatech, things are a bit tough financially and you're a bit stretched.
Yes, that was an understatement. I was just about to turn 52, and I had 3 jobs to help support my children. My 2 boys had to leave home early because I couldn't afford to look after them, and I still had my 2 girls at home. We were renting. I had $12,000 in superannuation, which wasn't a good amount at 52. And so Manatech came along, and I just got excited about the science and then ultimately the business opportunity. which has always just gone hand in hand for me, Sharon, because, you know, if you share it enough with people, if the products, you know, you're going to have a business, you know, it just sort of happens the same. And that's what happened. I just went crazy, sharing the products with everyone who would listen. I don't think I did a very good job of it back then. But, you know, what I mean is I didn't have all the techniques and strategies and, you know what to say. And I probably talked more than I listened and did a lot of things that I've learnt to do differently now. But, you know, because of my enthusiasm, it just grew and grew. And I had other people join me in my quest. And yes, so I was within 18 months, I was full time, earning more than I was with my 3 jobs in 18 months. So not that was a really hard figure to cover, I must admit, but you know, it was just great, and it gave me more time then, and it just sort of became my mission. And I've just had the most wonderful life. That's what I can't get over, you know, to think where I was in my 50s as a single mother, and now I have my own home. I live in the country. I've gone on multiple travel incentives with Manatech, gone to America multiple times, Hawaii, and I'm going on a 3-week European river cruise next month, which has been a dream forever. And I just thought I would never travel again. So, you know, it's been just a great gift. And to think that so many people have been helped in the process, you know, that's the win-win here. It's not just my success. It's so many other people's success with their businesses and with their health. You know, I've got people in my business who probably wouldn't be here but for Manatech. So that's a very satisfying thing to have done.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very happy.
We should probably let people know that you don't need to be a nurse, because we're both nurses.
Oh, look, absolutely. Absolutely. And, you know, I didn't learn anything about nutrition as a nurse. And we really need to understand that, you know, that the medical world aren't trained in nutrition. I can vouch for that, and so can Sharon.
Yeah.
So everything I've learned has been through my own research, through Dr. Nugent, through all the doctors that have come through Manatech, through my own study. And yes, that's, you know, the nursing part, I guess, the fact that we went into nursing means we had a heart for people. That was probably the advantage of nursing. But knowledge-wise, no, that's not the key at all. And I've got very successful people in my business who have no medical background. So, yeah.
It's really not about medicine, isn't it? It's about wellness.
It's about wellness. It's about
you might have an extra level of passion, because sometimes in today, you know, in modern medicine, you kind of wonder what training they're getting at all. In some things, it's sort of broken our system. So it's good to give the power back to the people.
Very broken. And I think that makes our role even more imperative. Yeah. Because, you know, people just don't know the truth. They're not just being not informed, but they're being misinformed with the media as well. You know, so that's a very dangerous thing anyway. Better not say that, but anyway.
Oh, well, you know, we need to be informed healthcare consumers in the 21st century. Because,
we do.
Yeah, because, you know, medical advances in science take 20 years to get into the doctor's office. And so you start looking around, there's answers that you're not being told in the doctor's office or the hospital. So, and I don't know, we're a bit off topic here, but it's really important that we look at an integrative approach, you know, the best of modern medicine, and, you know, backing ourselves up with this cellular support.
Well, I think one of the fundamental things is, you know, even when there is advice about diet, which is rare, it's outdated advice, because they're not, you know, even the so-called experts on what to eat, unaware of the deficiencies in the food. It's just not being talked about, you know, the lacking and the adding. There are two problems: what's lacking and what's being added in the form of, you know, chemicals. So yay for Ambrito's Life, that helps us, you know, eliminate chemicals and heavy metals from our body. And I've certainly had some new detoxes, Sharon.
Yeah, I did too.
New healing responses.
Got to love those cells cleansing themselves, don't you?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And Karen, just another thing that's coming into my mind right now is that your family were pioneers in organic farming. And so more than anyone, you got to see the impact on our food source, average people just living in the city and going to the shops, they have no idea what's going on in regards to our food.
No. In fact, when my father first got interested in organic farming, and he'd been, an aerial sprayer, using all the fertilisers that everybody else was using, and he did his own experiment, and he and another friend who were both interested, they planted a whole paddock of alfalfa, or lucerne as we call it here, and they used superphosphate on half the paddock and mineral fertilisers on the other half. And the superphosphate fertilised crop, half of the paddock, grew twice as tall as the mineral fertiliser. So they thought, well, so much for organic farming. Obviously the chemicals are better. It grew twice as big. They put the sheep in, and guess what the sheep ate? Wow. They ate the mineral fertilised lucerne and didn't go near the other. So it's a bit sad when sheep are smarter than us, Sharon.
Sheep get a bad name, don't they? They say they just follow the sheep.
They think they're dumb, and they were pretty smart, I thought. I mean, they were still following their instincts, obviously. So, which we need to do. Follow our own guts and our instincts, and
absolutely
trust ourselves and be more personally responsible is always a good thing. Scary sometimes, but a good thing.
So for anybody listening now or into the future, this mission that we're on is really important. It's more than just making money. And what better way, if you're looking around to make extra money, what better way to do, my business is called Business and Wellness because, I'm looking at what do you want to do for the rest of your life? Be healthy and vibrant and contribute to the planet and have a lifestyle that you choose, whatever is right for you. So why the best, in my humble opinion, business to choose is one that's also going to enliven your health and wellness.
Absolutely. And at the convention, I was just so excited to see this new bonus explained because our compensation plan has always been very challenging to understand. And when they made the changes, almost 2 years ago now, with our new compensation plan, they reduced all the different ways of earning income from 16 down to 6, which was a wonderful thing to do. But it is still challenging to understand all those 6. It's still challenging, and I think one of the biggest challenges that we've had since the new comp plan is being able to have some idea of income levels. If you got to a certain level in Manatech, you really had no idea what sort of income you could earn. And if you were talking to somebody about this business, you couldn't give them a prediction. And we've asked, and Manatech have answered. They've come up with this new business development bonus, which not only gives us an indication of what you can earn at certain levels, it tells you exactly how your business needs to look. It gives you a path to run on. And the best part, I think, is you don't have to understand or learn all those 6 bonuses. It's not necessary because in this business development bonus plan that I'm going to show you today, and you'll learn at the trainings, all the different, the 6 levels of income are incorporated in it. So you don't have to know them. So this is, compensation plan 101, simple, easy. And I came back from the convention in Adelaide just so excited about it. Kevin Robbins was there, the Silver Presidential from America, and he taught us, how to explain it in a very simple way. And my daughter Avalon, she's been in Manatech nearly 16 years, basically the same amount of time, absolutely loves the products, has taken the products for years, has had little spasms of being interested in the business, but they came and went, those spasms. And she picked me up from the airport when I got back to Brisbane, and I said, I really want to show you, how this new bonus works out. I want to practice on you. And she sort of said, oh, maybe later. Anyway, a little while later, she said, oh, okay, show me now. So I did. I sat down and I just wrote it out. And this is what you're going to learn to do at these trainings. John and Bianca did it in Melbourne last week. Naomi's doing it as we speak in Sydney today. And I'm doing it, helping people do this in Brisbane next Saturday. No, is it next? No, sorry, the 27th. Yeah, it's Easter next week. The 27th of April. And it's happening in Adelaide as well on the 27th of April. And it's happening in New Zealand as well that weekend. So you're actually going to learn how to explain it in this simple way. But the long story short, with Avalon, I showed her this and she got absolutely excited. And my daughter is now buzzing, building this business. This is her future. And I've got my daughter working with me, which is so cool, because I always had my mother working with me and I lost her a couple of years ago. So it's been a bit sad. And now Avalon's, really into it with me. So I'm very, very excited. And she's 35. And I mean, I started at 52. Where's she going to be by the time she's 52? It's incredible.
The next 25. The next 25 in Manitoba.
Yep. And I just want to say, I just really want to encourage you all to get on and watch Manitech live as much as you can. I just love the way they went through the history. Amanda Luttrell, it'll be so worth listening to her next week. And I guess my real favourite though was Richard Brooks. That was a 4-hour training, and it took me 3 days to get through it. But I can't recommend it highly enough to watch Richard Brooks. He is just an amazing trainer. And anyway, I really encourage you to go and watch all of that.
So without further ado, I'll make you a panelist, Karen, and I'll get my notebook and I'll sit back and watch and learn. And ladies and gentlemen, there will be an opportunity for you to type questions into the chat box. For any of you trained by Karen, I know that she doesn't use the chat. We have to change the rules for Saturdays because this is a webinar system, not a meeting. So if you want to communicate with us, it's either through Q&A at the bottom of your screen or depending what device you're using. So if you have questions, just chat them there and I'll help Karen at the end and we'll cover those for you. So Karen, I'll just make you host rather, and then you'll be able to share your screen.
Okay. All right. Well, just before I show you the actual PowerPoint, I've actually made a PowerPoint just to make this simple. But what you're going to learn at these trainings is not only how to show this business development bonus in a simple way, but you're going to actually practice it yourself and learn how to do it. But today, what I've done, and I did this after I came home, and anyone else can do these sorts of things. I went onto YouTube and watched JP Costa from South Africa, who's a young platinum presidential, how he presented our whole plan previous to this bonus, this new business development bonus. So I just copied what he did, a brief introduction to the company, to what we're about, the opportunity, into a slideshow, and then did the business development bonus. I just made it myself. It's not patented. I'm happy for anyone to have it if they find it useful. But I can tell you I've used it a lot myself. I had one of my associates brought a new person to see me the other day who was interested, and we just went through the slideshow on the computer, and she said, no questions. It was so simple to understand. And I think that's what I love the most. And what we really need is for everyone to feel confident to be able to show people this compensation plan. And I think the complexity in the past has stopped us. Maybe a few other things have stopped us as well. But that's not the subject today. That's another subject. Ty Tribble did a good job of talking about that. And Richard Brooks will help you answer that issue in a massively, massively successful way. So let's get on to it. I hope I know how to do this. So how am I going to share the screen, Sharon?
At the bottom, you should see share.
I know how to do this. Yes. It's just I'm not used to being on your show. So is that working? Why is it not getting? Oh, that's it. So does that work?
Yes, I can see it.
Everything's good? Okay.
Yep, looks good to me. I'll go off camera while you do this, but I'm here.
Okay. So let's imagine you're sitting down with someone, and one of the great lines to use with people is, can I practice on you? Can I show you what I'm doing? I'd love to share what I'm doing and show you. So let me give you a bit of a background about the company of Mannatech. So firstly, they are a publicly listed company. They're listed on the NASDAQ since 1999, and their ticket code is MTEX. And they've been in business for 25 years, which is amazing. Richard Brooks was telling us, I think there's something like, is it 30,000 or 3,000? Oh, I've forgotten now. 3,000 network marketing companies, but a lot of them just come and go. So it's very rare for network marketing companies to be in business for 25 years. We've been in Australia 20 years. America was 25 this year, but it's 20 years for Australia. So we're not just, a fly-by-night company. We've been here a while. And we're operating now in 27 countries with more to come. And the wonderful advantage of that is if you have, friends, relatives, people you know in countries we operate in, it's a global company and you can introduce them to the products and to the business opportunity in those countries. And what I like to say is then you can travel there as a tax deduction, which is great. So our products are in the health and wellness industry, all of them, and they are all patented proprietary technology. And for those who don't understand proprietary, which I didn't, it means we own our technology. So that's really important. It's completely ours. Our patents are ours. We have over 130 patents. I think 99 of them are current at the moment. So that's quite incredible. And patents keep getting renewed accordingly in various ways. So that's wonderful. We have consumable products. Now, this is a really incredible advantage when you think about it, that there's a constant turnover. I mean, I wouldn't want to be selling sewing machines or, lounge suites. Well, maybe there's a bit of turnover, but it's not a monthly turnover. Having a consumable product is fantastic when you're looking at a business. We have 138 patents, as I said, and 17 published clinical trials, with more happening all the time. They've spent $50 million on research and development, which is incredible. And that research continues to go on. And also, you have a 90-day money-back guarantee on our products in Australasia. And that is just amazing. I mean, can you think of any food, drug, any other supplement that has a 90-day money-back guarantee, or even a one-day money-back guarantee? If you took a drug and you had a bad reaction, which happens all the time, and you went back to the chemist and said, this was bad for me, I want my money back, I don't think so. So this is an incredible guarantee, and we should be really, really proud of this, because it says it all. It should give you so much confidence in our products. So our opportunity is for those who are looking to diversify their income. And it's a 2 to 5 year plan to presidential director and beyond. And it's a part-time opportunity. So you can still do this while working full-time. My daughter Avalon has been doing exactly that. She has a full-time job, and she's, since February enrolled 3 people that she works with the products. They're all young and they're all not well. People are everywhere. So the fact that you can do it part-time is wonderful. And, you're not put under pressure like with most businesses where you have to, spend a lot of money to invest and give up your job and work, maybe 20 hours a day to get a business started. This is part-time, and you can do it while still working. You have low startup costs, which is fabulous. You're not looking at major investments. You don't have to rent an office. You can do this from home, which is wonderful. And it's a turnkey business. Now, this is another term I didn't always understand. And this is why I've written some notes, so it helps me. Turnkey basically means everything is done for us. We don't have to develop any products. We don't have to think up new products, study them, find the ingredients, do the research. It's all done for us by Mannatech. We don't have to carry stock. We don't have to deliver stock. A lot of companies, you do. You have to buy it all in and go and deliver it to your customers and so on. We don't have to do any of that. Everything's done online. All we really have to do is become adept at talking to people and presenting what we have. So Turnkey is wonderful. And you can expand internationally, as I mentioned before, if you know people in other countries. And it's social, mobile and global. And this is really a new thing with social media. You know, I have people in my team are real experts with social media. I'm not. But they're doing very well and they're enrolling internationally using social media. It's just a wonderful thing that the world has become so small this way. And of course, mobile, you can live where you like. And I think that was one of the things I grasped in my first few years. If I could get this established, I could live wherever I liked. And I did that. I've been living in Anango. I left Brisbane 10 years ago. And I just love living in the country. It's what I like to do. But you could get a camper van and travel around Australia. You not live anywhere and build this business. You know, it's just the mobile aspect is incredible. And it's global, as we've mentioned. And you've got self-development as part of it. Network marketing to progress in that, you know, personal development, self-development and more learning is just part of the journey, which is a great advantage. You know, I'm not the same person I was when I started. I've developed and done a lot of personal development, had my ups and my downs, but you know, it's always been higher when I've come out of the downs. I've gone up higher. So that's a great part of our business that we offer people, the self-development, and if they want to rank up into leadership, the leadership training's all provided. I mean, look at this opportunity that Manatech have provided right at the moment to do these, learn how to do the compensation plan. It's free. You know, the company are providing that. They're paying the venue and people can come and learn, and it's just wonderful what they provide to help us get ahead. So the actual compensation plan. So let's get down to that. So the first thing people need to do, and imagine you're showing this to someone, guys. Just imagine you're sitting with someone. This is all laid out for you. These are all popping up. You don't have to elaborate. I've elaborated on a couple of points, but you don't have to do that. You can just go through this very basically. So the first step is to get an account number, and you can choose to be a preferred customer or an associate. So both of these, whichever you choose, you buy at wholesale. And whichever you choose, you earn loyalty points, which is actually 10% of whatever you spend on products, you can actually then spend on free product of your choice. So 10% is amazing. I sometimes go over to Kanara, which is an organic food shop on the Sunshine Coast. And I went in there one day and they have a loyalty system as well. And I said, oh, what's your loyalty? How much do I get? And she said, 1%. I said, what? 1%? So this 10% is incredible. And I've found that to be one of the best things Manatech's ever done, is introduce that program. I find it's very powerful. It helps me. I know I'm going off script here, but it helps me keep people on automatic orders by explaining the loyalty program. So just be appreciative of that great thing. So coming back to the plan, associates, the basic difference between a preferred customer and an associate is associates can earn income. That's the only difference. And the associate pays $49.95 to register as an associate. That's an annual registration, and that enables them to earn income. It gives them access to the Manatech back office and all the training and support and guidance that they need. Another great thing Manatech have done, of course, is when the annual renewal comes up now, they've halved it, so it's only $24.95 for the annual renewal when that comes up. But this $49.95 is wonderful because you can earn that money back in a very short time, so it's a great idea to be an associate. It's important to set up an automatic order. If you're an associate, it's necessary to be paid an income. You do need to have a minimum of a 150 PV. So just that's an important thing to understand. I recently, showed this, as I mentioned to you, on the computer, and this lady enrolled, and she was just going to get a couple of things, and then I said, well, we're not quite at 150 PV, so she bought another product, so she made sure she got the 150 PV. So make sure you explain that when people enroll as associates. And you need to also have an automatic order, whether you're a preferred customer or an associate, to start earning loyalty points. So this is an important thing to understand. Especially if you're enrolling customers, I'm going off script again. If you're enrolling customers, always choose that selection to enrol with an automatic order. I tell people I do this, I explain the loyalty program, and I always say it's much better if we do that, enrol you to start with an automatic order, and I explain that that's changeable. We can change the date, we can change the content. I'll be in contact with you before it's due anyway, so there won't be any surprises. But if we just enrol you just with a product purchase, you won't be earning any loyalty points. So that's a really important strategy to explain. That's when you can use the loyalty points to your advantage as well. And we have, back to the people we're talking to, 20 to 30 products to meet many people's needs. So I like our 20 to 30 products. They're not too many. We have different areas, but you don't need to go into that when you're showing this plan. Just keep it simple. Keep it simple. And that's probably one of the biggest things I want to say. Don't do what I've done and go off on tangents when you're showing this. I'm showing you it from a training perspective. But it's better just to keep it succinct and simple. You might add a little bit of embellishment here and there, but keep it simple for people. Okay, so now we're getting to the exciting part, the business development bonus. And this is how it works. So the first thing to do as an associate and someone you're enrolling, and you would help them to do this, is to create 500 PV. Now, PV is a point system that our products have. Because we're a global company and we operate in so many different countries with different currencies, they need to have some way of measuring turnover of product to pay bonuses, obviously, pay income. So with all the different currencies, that would be difficult. So they have a point system. So every product has a certain number of points. And that's what they measure to decide what your level of income is going to be. So PV stands for point volume. So the first target is to create 500 points yourself. And this could be your own order. You may buy a whole 500 PV yourself, but it doesn't have to. This can be customers as well. So remembering you need to have, to earn the bonus, at least 100 PV yourself, at least 100 PV. If you're qualifying for the incentive for North Queensland, you need to make sure it's 150 PV yourself. And the rest of the 500 can be made up with customers. So you may have 200 PV yourself and 3 customers with 100 PV, or any combination. But that create 500 PV is the first target. And this is the most important target, because as I'm going to show you this business development bonus, this is, once you do it, you can help others do exactly the same, because that's all everybody has to do to make this work. So the next step is to find, well, that's you, sorry. The next step is to find an associate by showing this compensation plan I'm showing you now, and explain to them that they develop 500 PV. And again, that's with their order and their customer's order. The next step is to find another one. So with this business development bonus, you've probably heard the terminology that it's a team 2 bonus and a team 4 bonus. So this is, when you've got this scenario in front of you now, this is the team 2. There's you with 500 PV, and you have a team of 2 associates with 500 PV. They've done exactly the same as you. And so that now qualifies you for the team 2 bonus, which is $125. But the great thing that's happened here is that you've developed a certain amount of turnover, and there's other bonuses involved as well as this bonus. Remember, there's 6 levels of income. And so you'd also get other bonuses by having this amount of turnover. And you would actually be qualified now as a director, because when you have 1,500 PV, which you have here, your turnover now makes you a director. So with the other bonuses, you would be earning a total of $206 per month with that scenario. So it's really great. You can actually see what you're earning with this scenario. That's not on top of the 125. The 125 is included in that 206, just to be clear. So once you've got this set up, it's just a question now of finding 2 more people to get to that Team 4 level. So you've got your 2, so you add another one and then another one. So you now have 4 associates who have created 500 PV. You did it. You can show them how to do it. It's their order plus their customer's order. And you now earn the Team 4 bonus, which is $315. So now you have become a silver director. This amount of turnover, which is 2,500 PV, if you add all those 500s up, makes you a silver director, and you would now be earning $490 a month. That's not on top of the Team 4 bonus. That $315 is included in that $490. And that's nearly $500 for the month, which just may not look so exciting, but let me show you how exciting it is, because now you have what we call asset income. And this is such an important concept. You've actually created an asset. You are not doing all the work. And an asset income, to earn $490 a month, you would need to have $100,000 invested at 6%. If anybody knows anywhere that I can get 6%, I would really appreciate them telling me, because that's just not really possible at this time in history. You're lucky if you can get 3%. So you would have to have $200,000 invested at 3% to earn $490 per month. So for me, this puts this whole scenario in a whole new light. It's a lot easier to find people to help with our products and our business opportunity than it is to accrue $200,000 and have it invested. And this is a good point to mention this difference also between linear and leveraged income, just briefly. But linear income, of course, means getting paid by the hour, which is what you do in a job. And leveraged income is what you have in front of you. You've leveraged your time and ability by introducing other people. So you've got other people involved in your income and theirs, and you've leveraged your income earning ability, which is a wonderful thing about our business. So to take it another step, these first 4 people that you've introduced, they see what you've done. They see that you've got $490 a month in leveraged income, and they want to do the same. So they develop their own Team 4, each one. You would obviously help them in this process, but they're becoming more confident and more able to do it themselves as they go along. So what happens once they do that? Well, your first 4 associates, these 4 down here that you introduced and helped, they're now earning $490 a month. They've moved into asset income, and it's because of you. You know, if you hadn't introduced them in the first place, they wouldn't be getting this benefit. And this goes a long way to covering the cost of people's products, I might add, doesn't it? $500 a month is a good amount to be spending on your own products, even if you want to do that. So your 4 are now earning it, but this has now elevated you, so you don't even have to add all this up and work it out. It's all done for you. Once you have those 4 with a Team 4 each, you're now a silver executive director And there's a lot of new bonuses in those 6 levels of income that kick in at this level. Then you would now be earning $1,625 per month. How would that be? This is a very exciting. If those of you are familiar with the 6 levels of income, it's at this level that the check match bonus kicks in. So it's a great level to get to, $1,625 a month. So I'm just going to take it one more step because we can. So let's say these people, they want to do the same thing. They want to get to that $490 a month. So they introduce a team 4, each one. A team 4. And what happens now is your first 4 associates are now silver executives because they have team 4s with team 4s, just like you did. And they're earning $1,625 each a month. But with your total turnover now, you are a presidential director, earning $5,605 per month. And for those of you who are interested, at this point you would have 84 associates in your business. And I just want to point out how significant that is, because when I made presidential back in the dim dark ages, we needed 600 people in our business to make presidential. So this new business development bonus, by creating it and doing it this way, you just need so many less people. It's just everybody aiming for that 500 PV, and then they teach others to do the same. And, you know, this is an ideal, of course, but 3 levels deep, this amounts to, for those of you who can invert this the way it looks in our tree diagram, you're a presidential director earning $5,605 a month. So that's exciting, and that's the end. So I'll stop the share. How was that, Sharon?
It was brilliant. Thank you, Karen.
It's nice and simple, don't you think?
Yeah, yeah. And it's simple enough for people to feel like it's achievable and go, okay, I can do that. Because really you're just focusing on the next step and working with those people.
Yep.
And their goals. You know,
Yes.
So some people only want the 500.
That's
some
right.
people will get the vision, go, I can do this.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And it's just, I mean, the other people it's good for is people who are very seriously looking for a good business. You can give them a projection of income now.
Yeah.
You know, the last lady I showed this slideshow, that she is. She's been in 2 other network marketing companies and not really had any support and not really made any money. And she wants to make money. She's interested in health, but she wants to make money. So, you know, to be able to see the projection for her, it was a no-brainer to get started, you know. So I feel this is just so powerful, and it's easy. You can use this PowerPoint. I don't have a patent on it. I'm happy for anyone to have it. You can change it if you didn't like something I put in. You can add, you can do whatever you like, you know. Yeah. We need to get Australia rocking again. And we need to get ourselves rocking again. We need to be able to take more product. We need to be, you know, able to have, you know, more autonomy in our life, more choice. And this business offers that like no other that I know. It's given it to me.
And there's a few questions sure. In regard to the PowerPoint. If you look up in the chat, I put a link there. You just right click, so you can already download it right now if you want. And then it'll also be available on the YouTube comments. That usually takes me a couple of days to get up to there, depending on good old internet here.
Sure.
And there's another question, Karen, from the very beginning, in regards to people have to order 150 points. And I did respond to it in brief, just saying that, you know, if it's tough for someone to get started, they can work up to that. What's your response to that?
As an associate, are we talking about? We are talking,
yes.
You know, because obviously a customer can order one thing, and so can an associate.
Yeah.
You don't have to order 150 points, but you do to get paid. So one of the exciting things with our new comp plan, which I didn't cover, is people can get paid just on their own purchases without ever introducing another customer or another associate. And I have associates like that from the past that are happy to renew as an associate, who are never going to tell anybody. But they make sure they have enough, and if it's over 150 PV, it will generate income. So I just encourage people, if they can, to get to that, because essentially 150 PV is the money you get back on that, which is the power seller bonus. If you're wondering which bonus that is, you'll be basically getting your freight free. That's what I tell people. It's around, depending on what they buy to get the 150 PV, it's around $11, $12, $13. So that's a real incentive for a lot of people, just to be getting it freight free. So I'm a great believer in, starting gradually and just pointing out to people what's good for them, and gaining their trust and gaining their confidence. It's a process, and listening to people and meeting where they're at is really, really important in this business. Not what we want, what they want. That's the key.
Well, and how many individuals and households in Australia or Australasia or the globe would have a significant change in their household situation with an extra 500? And then you've talked, people then can really enliven their goals.
Absolutely. And I think that discussion about asset income, I didn't ever understand that. I mean, that was something Kevin Robbins sort of introduced to my mind. I'm sure others knew about it, but, I'm not really a figures person, to be truthful, and I never really understood that. But that's just a huge factor. Who's got $200,000 invested? I haven't.
Yeah, it's seriously the minority, so we're talking to the masses here, and there's people struggling, with whatever costs in their household, kids or cars or whatever, or just they have dreams that they can't attain.
Exactly.
And this is where they can put the power into their own hands, isn't it?
Exactly. And, I think one of the great things they're going to learn at these trainings is that, they're going to learn how to show it, and just how to ask people to practice on them. Because, people just to see this and see the simplicity of it, and, they don't have to buy a lot of products themselves to have this. You don't have to be spending a lot, but just to show them this and show them the potential, because people have no concept or real understanding of what network marketing is and the advantages. That's another thing. I mean, how did we all feel at the beginning? Suspicious. I know your story, Sharon.
Yeah,
suspicious, doubting, and, so, but when we understand it, we think, oh, why isn't everybody doing this?
That's right.
So that's
so
what
ethical.
I know, it's so simple and so logical to do this.
Yeah.
So we have to be that intermediary that can show it in a nice, simple, easy way for them to understand, and guide them in the process. Yeah.
And there's also some questions from people who've been around for a while, Karen, and there are road bumps, aren't there, into learning any new skills, and it requires, commitment and perseverance. And, my experience is that it's just a learning curve, and you wouldn't go into anything new, whether it's a new job or a new hobby or new anything, and expect to know it all from day one.
Exactly. And I certainly didn't. Look, one thing I just loved about, which has been a real turning point for me and a lot of my team, about the Richard Brooks training, that the real gem that I got out of that was the bit on mindset. And I don't want to even try and emulate his way of teaching it, but mindset, what he talked about was analysing what our mindset is now about this. What do you really think? Do you think no one will listen to you? Do you think the products are too expensive? Do you think, I don't know. We all have these little personal stories. Someone will say no to me. They'll think I'm pushy. They won't like me anymore. I don't know. It's really important to think about what your story is. I haven't got enough time. There's a whole... And there's it's like a program running in the back of our mind, which is stopping us. Yeah. And I've had plenty of them, I can assure you. I've got cranky with the company. There's a really great program to slow you down. you know, and Richard Brooks really cured me of that by explaining, you know, how Manatech have gone through so many ups and downs, and they've stuck by us. And I didn't even realise so many network companies get to a certain level of income and they just take the money and stop. They bail out. But Manatech has never done that. You know, we've got 25 years and we've been through some real challenges, and the ownership could have bailed plenty of times and they never have. The mission has been that important, they've kept going. So you're never going to hear me complaining about the company ever again. That shifted that objection of mine that I periodically have had when they did something I didn't like, or my order got lost, or whatever, or a product wasn't in an order, all these little petty things that can go on. I just am so grateful to them. I can feel it welling up in me now, thinking about it, you know, that they've gone through so much and they keep coming out. Al Bala keeps pushing us and reminding us how things are in the future, what happened to jobs in the future, the robot thing, you know. I mean, it's imperative we keep this going, and the health, not to mention the health of the world. Anyway, I've gone off on a tangent again. What was I talking about before that, Sharon?
Oh, we're talking about Richard Brooke and mindset.
Oh,
and
right.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing me back. So it's really good to analyse your personal mindset, which I'm doing with my team and myself. And then when you watch the video, he actually handed out a flyer, and he gets people to write a new story, which is what my team's doing too. We're going to write a new story. And the story is, it's most important that you write empowering words. So let's say you think the products are too expensive. You might write, I am so grateful for the research and the value of these products and what they can do for people. So that's going to shift your too expensive thing. But it's about writing a number of points that are positive, affirmative, of why you can do this. You know, maybe it is, you know, I'm confident and I'm capable of showing this compensation plan to everyone. I'm really committed to helping people, and I'm going to talk to people every day about, you know, this great opportunity or these great products or whatever. But just writing a whole list of new, affirmative, positive things. I've got mine written out, and I read them every morning. And it's on my desk, not beside my bed. So I read it a couple of times during the day. And it's made such a difference. And people in my team are doing that. So I really encourage you to do that. I think, you know, because the old mindsets, even with what I've shown you today and the simplicity, they'll keep talking to you. Oh, well, I couldn't do it, you know. Karen can do it, or Sharon can do it, but I couldn't do it, or it's still too expensive. You may not even be conscious you're thinking these things, but they can be there, buried. So go and spend a time in your backyard today and think about it and write a new list. That's my recommendation.
Great advice, Karen. And, you know, I'm thinking my youngest kids have a sleepover last night, and I can hear, I don't know if you guys can hear it, they're just playing upstairs and the ceiling feels like it's reverberating. And I'm thinking, it comes to mind how important this is for mums. You know, it's such an empowering business to be able to work around your family. And, you know, yes, it's a stretch, but I tell you, I watch people that have full-time jobs, and the pain that they experience in not being able to customize at all their schedule in order to at least do, you know, some of the extra things with kids is just extraordinary. We're so blessed, aren't we, Karen?
Absolutely. This is the best, health and wealth in one package, you know.
Yeah.
What more could you ask for? And freedom.
So, Karen, it's time to wrap up.
Okay.
That's a perfect thing to end on. But what do you see Manatech in the next 25? The next 25, what's your commitment to Manatech?
Oh, my commitment. Well, I had it up. I wonder if I can do this. No, I can't get it. I've got this big, oops, I've lost you now.
I'm here. You're still here.
Still there? Oh, we're still here. Anyway, I tried to show you. Well, it's platinum again. It's platinum again because you know, I've already got to presidential, so the next step is helping others get to that level. So that's my commitment to the next 25 years. And more international. You know, my girls who are doing social media we've got quite a few associates in the United States now. So, you know, more travel, more fun, more trips, and Manatech's the vehicle. It's the vehicle.
It's amazing, isn't it?
I mean, I know your passion with health and particularly with Lyme's disease, Sharon, and mine's just as strong across the board. You know, I can't, to watch the news and hear what is happening with some people is just very, very scary.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, absolutely.
So that's my next 25 years.
That's a great point. You know, people on this, most people would know that I've been sort of pulled sideways to help another community in our great nation. And so it's just, you know, it's kept me away from management, but my income has kept going, and my relationships with my team and you guys, like all the teams and the community is there. And, you know, I can't wait to get across the line some goals in that community for the Lyme disease patients of Australia and come right back to Manatech. So
absolutely.
You guys can all see that happening. That'd be great.
We've got it all.
Karen, thank you. God bless you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sharon, for all you do. This is such a blessing. So thank you very much. And I look forward to seeing you on the 27th in Brisbane.
You will. And remember, everybody, Amanda Luttrell next week. It's going to be fantastic as well. If you haven't seen her last one, go back to last year and look for her in the archive. Just an amazingly empowered, heartfelt woman. I can't wait to have her on again. So thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend. Thanks for being here. Thanks, Karen, again.
Pleasure.
You've been blessed.
Bye, everyone.
See ya. See everyone.